Hey guys, welcome to Wednesday. I'm just chilling here, staring out of my awesome window, and I was just enjoying the scenery, checking out the mountains. It looks really, really nice this morning, and it got me thinking how I want to experience a lot of really, really awesome things, nature included. And I just, in this particular circumstance, am thinking about nature because I'm looking at the mountains and they look awesome. And I know I want big things to be a part of my life. So I just got to a thinking about the normal person, the average individual who kind of lives out their life, and how I don't want to be anything like that person. I think that I don't know, just reflecting on this concept this morning, on the concept of thinking big and like having big things happen to you and being a part of big things in life and achieving great things, and that whole notion is fantastic. And the whole concept of life and its how unique it is based on the foundation that we only live once in our current forms, or whatever you might believe, but our current bodies, we're only going to be here for a certain amount of time, relatively short in comparison to that, how old the universe is. We're only here for a certain period of time, so why not think big? Why not be big? Why not have big things be a part of your life? And I think that the normal person, the average individual, is just I don't know. When I think of a word to define the average person, I think of settling. I mean, I guess average does the job in itself, but I feel like average people settle in life, and they don't think big. And I like to think of myself as somebody who thinks big. And I actually get bit in the butt quite often because I'm so bad with this. I tend to think so big that I want to go straight from like the seed of or the foundation of an idea or an adventure straight to the big part of it, without really kind of dealing with all the in-between stuff. And that's, I don't know, maybe it's still a little bit of maturing that I have to do with myself. But I know, like, for instance, I get really, really good ideas in terms of like knowing that I want to do a cool business. And I'll get a really, really cool business idea, and I want to go straight from the idea to like making tons of money so I can go travel the world and start really cool charity foundations and help people, and then just like go from point 1 to point 100, which is the end game. So that's kind of like a fault that I have. But anyways, back to the think big concept. Everything starts with a point, right? Point A. Every idea starts with a point. And I think where people get lost is they think big. I think everybody thinks big to some extent. But how many people kind of act on those big thoughts? How many people actually chase them? I don't know. I don't think a lot of people do. So hopefully you guys are big thinkers with me, man. Hopefully we're thinking big and we're like, man, I'm going to go climb that mountain and I'm going to go travel the world and I'm not going to let anything stop me, right? But every idea, every thought, every big concept starts with a point, and I think a lot of people give up because they get discouraged by all the work that they might have to do in order to attain that big thing. I mean, if you're looking at me from my perspective, any business that really, really is going to be successful is going to take a lot of work, right? And if I want to get some point in my life, if I want to get to some point in my life where I'm able to travel the world and donate lots of money and be extremely financially secure, obviously that's going to take a lot of work to develop a business like that, or some sort of a career. So I think a lot of people get lost in the journey that it takes to get from point A to point 100. That's the dumbest way to say that, but I'm just going to continue saying it like that. So I was just thinking about that today when I looked at the mountains, and I knew how big things were important to me and how important I think it is to think big, because thinking big leads you to big things. And so don't lose those big thoughts, those big dreams. And I think you should stick with them. And sometimes it's just you gotta hustle down, and you gotta say, okay, I know this is important to me, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get there. And if you're like me and you're like, I know that I want to be a successful businessman so I can do 100 other awesome things in life and use all the money I make from this cool business to let me do that. And I'm going to do that. And whatever it takes is going to happen. And I have confidence in myself, and I know I'll make it happen. So I hope you guys can think somewhat similar to that, or think in a way that works for you, that does kind of the same thing where you're working towards those big things, because we all want to climb mountains, we all want to travel. Well, I don't know if everybody wants to travel, but I know I want to. And I'd like to have a lot of money someday. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, let's be for real here. Lots of money, that wouldn't hurt anybody, and I think I could do a lot of great things with it, as well as enjoy it myself. I'm not gonna lie either. But that was the weirdest laugh in the world, and that's because I'm excited about this topic. But anyways, guys, it's almost 5 minutes and 30 seconds, so I'm gonna cut it off right here. I'm gonna thank you again for the time you spent on this video. It was a pleasure talking to you guys. Had a blast. I love doing these commentaries in front of the mountains. It is just too awesome. Anyways, guys, as always, stay flying, stay fresh. I will catch you later. Peace.